Hello jammy gamers, welcome to another gaming video. This is 7 Days to Die and this is going to be another Horde concept base. Now, this is a very small one that I came up with just to play around with and it works reasonably well. What I'm going to call it is going to be the Squeaky Base. If you're not aware, just type into Urban Dictionary, Squeaky Bum Time. There's plenty of opportunity on 7 Days to Die to have that. It's just self-explanatory. But if we look at here, we've built our frames. This is going to be a row of 5 frame boxes. Then we're going to do the angled ramps to try and angle the zombies around the back towards the front, where we're going to have the opening. And we're going to try and use the hatch trick. But we're going to try and minimise the resources used, minimise the footprint, and just have a little entrance to a mine shaft. Now you might notice that we did put our concrete posts at the back. Now my thinking being that we couldn't quite get that triangle tip unless we expanded it a little bit, 1 block further wide, which is absolutely fine. We could have done that. I might do that in the next follow-up one. But the concrete posts, I'm thinking that if worst comes to worst, I can spin around and just smash that hammer through the gap. So I'm not too worried about that right now. Now let's upgrade all of these boxes, making sure they're double. Now I'm only going to go for wood. Just like I said, I want to try and make it cheap and easy so we can do an early game. Whoa, dogs! Dogs! Spawns of Satan! So let's carve those up and get back to it. Nodding dog there. So upgrading these, like I say, we want to try and limit the amount of resources used so that it's a plausible early game horde base. Now, sticking the hatches in, we're going to separate them so you can do it back to back. That gives us a double layer of protection. Let's quickly go to the mini bike, grab some more bits, and then let's go build the mine shaft. Now, that's going to be an elevator. It's going to be the hatch frame elevator. I'm going to do a separate video on that, so go check that out. The views will be much appreciated. I'm going to keep it separate this time around. Sticking the spikes along the roof there. That will just give us a little bit of extra defense in case they do start to blob together and push some of the zombies upwards and over. Now we don't want that happening if we can help it. It just will give us a bit more control. Now if we skip forward, I'm just finishing the elevator and actually been caught short in the Horde night. The Horde's already started appearing, so I just pillar up the rest of the way and get crack-lacking. I'm going to put the speed at normal speed here so it goes a little bit faster for us. Okay, so policeman's a big test, so let's try and kill him nice and quickly. He even glitched through the hatch frames then. Very, very scary. Very squeaky bum time. But actually, we've got some good stuff on the go. It's quite manageable right now. And we've even picked up his shotgun to get us out of a sticky patch. Turning around, whizzing around the back, you see the posts, the poles here aren't working too well. They're not able to pathfind around the front like I wanted, so we're just going to take care of them through the poles. So that was a backup. I was hoping they'd come around the front. But really, the sledgehammer, I love it, I love it, love it, love it. I've got a short going over the sledgehammer, and it's my favourite. It saves so much on ammunition, all that sort of stuff, and it's just reliable. Just breaking limbs, doing the work. Fantastic job there by the sledgehammer. Again, so we're at day, 147 this Horde night, and we're still at a reasonably good level. Policemen, they always give me the fear. Really, they really do. Put the heebie-jeebies to me. And it's their secondary attack. Their secondary attack where they can blow up is just super scary for me. I think where there's a barrier, a wall, a solid wall from what the zombies can see in between us, he's not doing his second attack, which I'm not going to complain about. If he doesn't blow up, he doesn't blow me up, he doesn't blow up the base, I'm happy with that. So we keep it on arm's length, pump some shells into him. But flipping around to the front of the base, you see how they're just queuing up here. This is, everybody should know, the hatch trick. They just won't hit it. What you got to look out for is crawlers. But right here, right now, they're all got their legs still, and they're just not hitting the hatch frames. So we stay nice and protected. And we can just pop them in the head, willy-nilly, at our own leisure. Now here, you can see the wood is starting to fail. There are some gaps starting to appear. That's really not good. This is when it gets a little bit scary, and we would want to be jumping down our hatch, down the mine shaft where it's nice and safe. But as we see, they're punching through, they're not giving us much time at all. We're going to have to make a decision of what to do now, just before the police decide to blow us up. So let's try and jump down our hole here. And then this is when we try to fill it back in, unfortunately where it starts to bug out a bit. Now you might have seen it just then. Let's have a little bit of a rewind and see if you can notice what happened before I explain it. Okay, that was it. It was a concrete post being shattered from above and falling down the hole. What it did, it then exploded and expanded into a block at our feet, and it pushed us into the wall. Okay, so that basically wedged us into the scenery, into the game, and that's why I'm just unable to move. So yeah, the zombies couldn't get me, great, but I had to do something. So I decided to risk it. I jumped out the hole, the elevator pushed me up to the top, and I just sort of panicked. I had to get out, I crawled out that little space, really close, 28 health here, bleeding away, and I just started to peg it on my mini bike. You always have that mini bike to hand so you can escape if you really need to. Trying to use a bandage, stop the bleeding, and then I just go off on my way. So unfortunately, yep, this time around it just didn't work, and I put it down to the concrete posts at the back. Now skipping forward, I doing some work on the base next door. There'll be a video on that as well. But I heard this day horde coming. Now I've put some spikes around the outside this time. I've repaired the back of the Squeaky base, and let's just see how it works. So this time around, where the back is solid, they pathfind properly and appropriately to the front. The spikes on the outside of the wall, they damage these zombies and start breaking their legs, and then the crawlers start creeping around. So like I said before, crawlers are what's going to hit your hatches. So that's what we don't really want happening. We want to try and avoid crawlers if we can. So here we are, there's a natural crawler. And then there's one that the spikes have broken his legs, so not ideal. But hey, that's the Squeaky base. It's still a prototype, but it's a working, functional prototype. With a little bit of polishing, it's definitely a feasible, definitely early game horde base. But let me know your thoughts. Let me know if you try it out. I'd love to hear from you. But check out more JJAM.Gaming videos in future. Give us a like, subscribe. It really helps the channel out. But we'll catch you on the next one. Thank you. Bye-bye.